everyone. I'm Hilary Woodhead, CEO of NAPA, the National Activity Providers Association. We are the professional association for activity providers and activity provision here in the UK, and it is our mission to support care providers in delivering meaningful activity and engagement. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this special live broadcast in celebration of Afternoon Tea Week. This week is particularly close to our hearts at NAPA, and we're thrilled to continue our many years of partnership with Lakeland Dairies. Lakeland Dairies share our passion for enhancing the lives of those who live in care settings. Together, we've made Afternoon Tea Week an even more significant event, bringing joy, connection, and nourishment to many. I'd like to introduce Eloise. Eloise, if you'd like to join me. Eloise has been instrumental in supporting our innovative partnership. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, Eloise, and Lakeland Dairies. Hi.
Yeah, of course. Hi, Hilary. Thank you for having me again. Always lovely to come and have a chat with you. So a little bit more about Lakeland Dairies. We're an Irish dairy cooperative with a proud heritage of dairy farming. We've got spanning over 125, just over 125 years, and we're lucky to have generations of farmers handing down to their families, which is hugely invaluable to help with our skill set and knowledge of dairy farming. We've got over 3,200 family farms as well, and it means we're able to develop high quality milks, butters, cream alternatives, creams, ice creams, honestly the list goes on, and of course our sort of hero fortification products as well, being Milk Gold Double and our Lakeland Dairies 100% dairy skim milk powder.
Brilliant, thank you. A great overview. Before we kind of dive in, I just wanted us to reflect a little bit on why Afternoon Tea Week is so important and so popular, particularly in care homes across the UK. And I think it's because it's more than just about the tea and the treats, although that's very important. The cake is very important, and the quality of the scone, I think, is very important. Yes. But it's also, of course, an opportunity, isn't it, for social engagement and reminiscence. It's about creating a sense of community, really. And that's why we work closely with you, and we have done for many, many years, because I think we do really share that commitment to making a difference. And the work that we do is about, it's about the dairy products and the difference that they can make to individuals' nutritional needs, but it's also about connection and meaning for people. So thank you. I want to say thank you to Lakeland Dairies for working with NAPA and supporting us over the last few years to develop these resources, which we've had such incredible engagement over the years, haven't we, with all the different projects that we've done together. So thank you for that. And long may it last, this fabulous partnership. So thank you. Shall we introduce Rachel? So Rachel is our specialist. She's going to tell us a little bit about her role as well at Lakeland Dairies, and a little bit about her 29 years, I think it is, as a dietitian. Hello, Rachel. How are you?
Hello. It's nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me today.
Lovely to see you.
So I'm a dietitian, and as you've already said, I've been working for 29 years in the NHS in the northeast of England, and 24 years of that I've been specialising in working in care homes on initiatives called Focus on Undernutrition, and I've had the privilege to work alongside Lakeland in providing them with guidance of how their products are really great in helping our mission in helping fortification in the care settings.
Excellent, thank you. Do you just want to tell us a little bit more, Eloise, about the resources that we've developed this year?
We're really pleased to present our Brews and Bites as part of the Afternoon Tea resource. So this is to celebrate Afternoon Tea Week. We've worked hard with a dietitian and with a chef to create some lovely recipes in here. We've got recipes which are fortified. We've got lots of information on fortification as well, which Rachel will be able to tell us a little bit more about afterwards. We've got some delicious recipes in here, lots of ones which you can make as part of your afternoon tea resource or just nutritional snacks afterwards. And then towards the end as well, we've got activities. We've got a word search, crosswords, so you can get involved in those, conversation starters as well. So helping sort of with the theme of bringing people together, so you can all have a little chat whilst you're having your afternoon tea. And then we've got a great competition, which I'll tell you a little bit more about afterwards.
Brilliant, thank you. That's great, Eloise. And it's what I love about it is there really is something for everybody in there, isn't there? It's such a diverse set of recipes. It's lovely, and you know, I think that's when it comes to afternoon tea, I think everybody's idea of it is slightly different. So I think you've really captured that, something for everybody. Can I come to you, Rachel? Would you just, with your extensive experience, could you just tell us a little bit about why fortification is so important?
In the care setting, it's really important because as people get older, people's appetites decline, and that's part of natural aging. But also if people become ill, they have certain conditions, it really can impact their appetite, their weight, and that really impacts their overall health, increasing frailty and so many other areas. So what we really want to do is make sure that when our residents are eating, their nutrition is packed full of nutrition, so every mouthful is full of goodness. Now, when we talk about fortification, a lot of people just think, oh, a bit of butter, a bit of cream. That is not fortification at all. That's about adding extra calories, but often they're empty calories with no other nutrients. So for 25 years, I've been talking about the fact that fortification is more than just a butter and cream. It's about extra nutrition, as protein and other nutrients as well. And I just remember the first time I ever went into Lakeland Dairies, it was like to me being in a sweet shop, because it was all these products that I've been talking about for years, like milk powder, and learning about the difference in milk powders was like a revelation of scales being dropped from my eyes. It was a real turning point in my career, I can tell you. And also, you know, things like the creams and the butters as well. But the milk powder to me is really the cherry on the cake, because what it can achieve in our care settings is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. I think it's also sometimes about providing that information that gives care staff confidence to think about fortification, because I think sometimes there's a bit of a barrier there. If they think there's a clinical need, where do they start? Where do they start to kind of assess the need? And of course, that comes with confidence and experience, doesn't it? But also making sure that they're reaching out to their kind of multidisciplinary teams and talking through their concerns, which I think is a really important part of this process. But also at Napa, we're really keen that activity care teams and catering teams talk to each other about how to make the fortification, the kind of food-based activities and the engagement, how to make all of that kind of a seamless provision activity for somebody. So, you know, the residents might not necessarily have that level of understanding, but those that are supporting them and working to a care plan for them do. And it's building that confidence, isn't it?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, for years I've been saying, you know, nutrition is very much a whole home approach. It's not one person's responsibility. And I work with care homes where we put in place really simple processes to ensure that all different staff know what their roles are. Because my opinion is that if it's complicated, nobody does it. You have to keep it simple and make it fit into everyday working, you know, demands of the day as well, and being effective. And the work that we've done in my care homes, we've shown that we've reduced malnutrition, that we've reduced pressure ulcers by 50%. You know, the impact has been phenomenal, but it's about keeping it simple and us doing it as a team that's so important. And what I love is the fact that we're doing activities that are related to food, and how wonderful that is, because one of our pleasures is going out for a drink with friends, you know, going to cafes and doing things like that. And that's really a treatment in some ways, you know what I mean? Those snacks are an important part of treatment for people that are at risk of undernutrition, but an enjoyable way.
Yeah. And that social aspect, it isn't for everybody, is it? But for many people, the social aspect of eating well, spending time with friends, with loved ones, with people that value their contribution, that all helps with good nutrition, doesn't it? Absolutely. So, as you say, it really is a whole home, whole service kind of approach, this.
Yeah, that's one of the things we were pleased about with our resource as well, is because you've got the recipes, which are more for like the catering team to be able to investigate in, but we've got the activities as well, which is for the activity providers to support with the residents as well, even family members, friends, so you can get involved. There's jokes in there, which they've got to be grown worthy jokes. There's discussion and starter tips, so you can sort of come together and have those little chats as well, and even just doing like a crossword together, word search. So yeah, that's one of the things we wanted to make sure we were sort of more inclusive within our resource to sort of cover off something for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, because it might not be necessarily the food itself, but it might be the crossword at 11 a.m. that's on theme, that then might lead to the coffee and cake, that then might lead. So it's about building that kind of momentum and excitement around the food as well, and also the discussion after a meal or after an event about what they've enjoyed, or do you like strawberry sponge cake? Well, I would have preferred a carrot cake. Those conversations. Well, my mum used to make so and so. All of those lovely reminiscence conversations that kind of wrap around the food-based activity, which are all part of the resource packs as well, which is lovely.
It does bring in stories. Whilst we were talking about some of the recipes to include, and if someone would suggest something, and then someone else always had a story around that. Well, this is how I make it, or I don't like that one, or that used to be done by my family, or my nan's got a recipe for that one. So yeah, it's a really interesting subject. It's really fun.
Lovely. So tell us a little bit about the competition.
Yes, we've got a wonderful competition. So we're asking for people to send in their favourite afternoon tea recipes. You don't have to include a photo, although we'd love it if you did. You can enter on the via the web form, send over your recipe, and then we're going to have a little judging session. And there's a great prize for someone to win, which is over £200 of relish activities bundle. So there's puzzles for different abilities. I think there's the snap game, the snakes and ladders. There's loads of really great games and activities in there, plus a case of Milat Gold Double and a branded jug and pipe and bags. So it's a really, really great main first prize. On top of that, we've also got 20 runner-up prizes as well to win a branded jug, so that you can help identify which milk on your tea trolley is fortified, and we'll be sending pipe and bags as well. So there's lots of opportunities to win.
Lovely. Well, I'd quite like to apply, I think. Get your competition entries in. We always have great competitions with Lakeland, and it's really easy to enter as well, isn't it? We want to make the process as straightforward as possible. Please do have a look, because we really have tried to make it accessible and as inclusive as possible. So I think we might have a couple of questions from the audience. I'm hoping they will just flash up. So the first one is, why did you choose the recipes included in the resource? I think that's for you, Eloise, that one.
Yeah, so we had a chat initially within the team, and then we linked up as well to with a recipe developer to sort of create recipes that we thought were going to be sort of more manageable for care homes in mind to be able to create, trying to include in season and sort of ingredients which sort of scream summer and afternoon tea. So lemon, elderflower, we've got lots of like fun, refreshing flavors in there. We were trying to have sort of cost effectiveness in mind as well, and also have that inspiring element too. So as you're going through, even if you don't want to follow those recipes, it might inspire you to do something else, specifically with fortification, or you might think, I didn't think of adding milk powder into that recipe. So it's sort of very much an inspiring piece as well. So yeah, we're really proud of the recipes we've got in there.
Yeah, they really are lovely, and I think I'm amazed how you keep thinking up new ones as well. It's like this endless sort of ability to think up something else. The next question, this one is about, what's your favourite recipe, either in the resource or just your favourite afternoon tea recipe? Really, Rachel, any thoughts on that? What's your favourite?
I do have one. I have to say, my dad's a baker, he's a master baker, and my favourite pastime is going to a cafe. And to me, a decent cafe is one that produces a good scone and a good Victoria sponge. So to me, the scone and Victoria sponges win hands down. And those recipes are gorgeous when you make them. They really, really are. And what I love as well, if you look at the scones and the Victoria sponge, there's around 270 to 280 calories per portion. What an amazing nourishing snack that is. And again, between around 4 grams of protein as well. So they're great nourishing snacks. They're nutrient dense, but boy, do they taste amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, isn't it? I think sometimes we feel guilty about eating these foods, don't we? But if we can justify it sometimes as well, I say, well, actually, this is a nutritious snack. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. How can I just a lead-on question from me about fortification, if that's okay, Rachel? How easy is it?
So simple, so simple. I mean, to me, one of the unsung heroes of fortification is milk powder. It really is. And I have been saying this before I even knew Lakeland Dairies existed. Okay. I have been promoting it for 25 years and just adding it to dishes. You know, we say 1 tablespoon of milk powder with 2 tablespoons of double cream, which is like your Millet Gold. Okay. Into a ladle of custard or rice pudding or porridge or soup is 185 calories and it's 5.5 grams of protein. Okay, we've done tasting tests of like normal custard versus fortified custard, and 80 to 90% of residents prefer the fortified because, you know, the moment you add cream and milk powder to things, it tastes gorgeous. So that's so simple to do. You just take your standard custard and add these ingredients in bulk accordingly. But the one thing to me that absolutely wins hand down with fortification is fortified milk. No question about it. You know, if somebody has a pint of fortified milk in a day, it adds 250 calories extra and 25 grams of protein in addition to the rest of the pint of what you would have got with the normal milk as well. So you're getting on for nearly 50 grams of protein in that fortified milk. And using that on your cereal, having 1 milky drink a day and 4 or 5 cups of tea or coffee, that uses the pint of milk. You don't even notice it because all you're doing is adding milk powder to milk. Okay. And it's 5 tablespoons or 1 measuring cup of milk powder to 1 pint. And it's just so easy and simple to do. Now, what I need to stress here, and this is where as a dietitian, I didn't realize, so I was horrified when I discovered my mistake, is I assumed all milk powders were the same. One milk powder is the same as the other, it's milk powder. And then I discovered there was 2 different types. There's vegetable oil added ones and there's 100% dairy. I assumed all of it was 100% dairy, and a lot of care settings are using the vegetable added ones. They only provide 12 grams of protein per 100 grams, where the 100% dairy provides 37 grams of protein per 100 grams. So for 1 tablespoon of the full dairy, you have to use 3 of the vegetable oil added ones. So you can't do that. It's
quite a difference.
Yeah, so people say to me, you know, oh, well, it's more expensive to get the full dairy, but it's not. It's actually phenomenally more cheaper to get the full dairy when you're looking at the protein, because the reason we use milk powder is purely for protein. It's tasteless. You don't notice it. It's so simple to use. So when people talk about fortification, to me, it is one of the simplest things to do and one of the most effective. And if we get it right, as dietitians, we would not be prescribing these nutritional supplements because we'd be using real, wonderful, wholesome food.
So it's a preventative approach, actually.
It is. If my care homes, and a lot of them do in the Northeast, I have to say, they do food first treatments, first of all, or food-based treatments, we say nowadays, okay? Yeah. If that was done proactively to the people that need it, when we first identify the need, we would never need to often go onto them supplements. Yeah. We would just be able to use food. So fortified milk, fortifying your dishes, nutrient-dense snacks, are all part of that bag of tricks that makes such a difference. And what would you rather have your family member have? You know, 2 nourishing snacks and a couple of milky drinks a day and 3 fortified dishes that are the same as what they would have had but are just more nutrient dense, or 3 or 4 40 sips or Ensures or Aim Shakes or Food Links or whatever that supplement is, you know. So to me, let's use...
It makes good sense. It makes good sense. And if we can wrap that into a, you know, an engaging activity as well, I mean, really, in terms of well-being, we're really thinking about all aspects, aren't we?
I mean, if you look at the milkshake that's in the recipe book, the strawberry and the chocolate milkshakes have got in them around 570 calories per serving, okay, 27 grams of protein. That one drink is the equivalent to 2 of your prescribed supplements nearly.
Yeah.
What would
and
you
it's
like?
really tasty.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there is a real potential of using food, and yet it's so simple. And if anybody says it's not, just send them along to me and I'll work with them.
But I also think in terms of what people know, what's familiar, if we can encourage good nutrition and use the routes that are known to people, rather than introducing something that they've never had before at a time perhaps when they're less likely to fully understand and appreciate why that's important, if they're living with moderate to late stage dementia, for example. But if it's in an ice cream sundae or in a milkshake glass and it has a strawberry on the side, and you can talk about milkshakes, and it makes all the difference, doesn't it? It
Absolutely.
really does. It's so interesting. I feel like I've learned quite a lot this morning. That's thank you so much for that, Rachel. And just to come to you quickly, Eloise, your favourite recipe for afternoon tea week?
I'm leaning more sort of towards the savoury side. It has to be savoury followed by something sweet. In the resource in particular, the goat's cheese tarts were absolutely delicious. But I think anything to do with cheese will have my heart anyway. So I think definitely those. And also the lemon tarts felt very summery, zesty. They were really gorgeous too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you with the savoury. Anything with cheese, definitely. A good cheese go.
It's hard to choose
my favourite. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you both very much. It's been a really interesting conversation this morning, and I think that I really, really hope we've already had over 1,000. I think Jenna's backstage, but I think it's over 1,200 downloads of these resources in the last couple of weeks. So we're delighted with that. Please let us know what you think. Have a look at the resources, get in touch and let us know what you think. And please do enter the competition for your chance to win those fantastic treats from Lakeland Dairies. We have something else in store, I think, in a few weeks, couple of months' time. Eloise, do you just want to?
Yeah, we're excited. We're working on our festive feasts, which will be coming out fairly soon. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. We're working with Rachel on that as well, and with a chef to make sure we've got, again, some great recipes and activities to share. So that will be coming soon.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you both so much. It's been great to talk to you. Thank you to everybody that's out there listening. Have a wonderful afternoon tea week. But for now, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.